Now, let's get on to your experience with the TV show Survivor, Blackie, because my missus absolutely loves it. It's a very popular show around Australia. I watched it as well when you were on there. It's just unbelievable, some of the stuff that they make you guys do, and then surviving all that time as well. You did really well. You're very close to winning it. You're the 18th person voted out, so you got pretty close, and you got blindsided as well, so you're pretty stiff. Talk us through your experience on Survivor.
Yeah, I loved it, Bev. It was an incredible experience, one of the most amazing experiences of my life. That's for sure. I was actually saying to my wife last night that we made it 6th or 7th, whatever we are today. That this time last year was probably about day 4 or 5 out there in the jungle in Fiji and of the game, and I remember having this overwhelming feeling of I guess anxiety and just so I'm talking the lack of food kicked in and the lack of sleep. I think we were probably going off a couple of hours sleep every night for the first week or so, and you're just like a zombie. And obviously the lack of food, you get rations of rice and beans that they don't really fill you up too much. So it really hit me, and I was like, wow, how am I going to last 20 days, let alone 40 days out here? You have that moment, and so I was lucky to last 42 of the 50 days, and you have moments where you really ebb and flow. But I remember that first day 4 or 5 just thinking, my goodness, this is get me out of here. But that's what a lot of people have. They experience it, everyone goes through it, and you come through it, and your body just adapts. I found weight-wise, my body weight, you drop really quickly, really suddenly. I'd have as a guess, I would have lost 6 or 7 kilos in the first 9 or 10 days. Wow. We hardly ate any protein. We couldn't cook our beans. We kept making a mess of those when we tried boiling them. And then you plateau for a long time. But to talk about the game, I mean, I just loved it. It's such a great experience. It's a bit of a contradiction, Survivor, in that, it's a team. It's a real team, tribe v tribe. Until such time you lose a challenge and you got to go to tribal council and vote someone out, and then it's every man for himself, and that's when the line and the backstabbing and the real gamesmanship comes out. And a lot of people sort of said to me, I said, how did you go with that? I couldn't imagine you'd be great at that. And I was like, well, to be honest, once you're in that environment, you become a part of it. And I remember the first year, Anastasia, that got voted out, I remember talking to her the day we lost a challenge, therefore we had to go to tribal council. And I said to her around camp that afternoon, I said, Anastasia, I guarantee you 100% I'm not voting for you tonight. And then literally less than 30 seconds later, I went and spoke to a couple of my alliance members, and they were really strong, wanted to vote out Anastasia. So sure enough, she lost her middle stump that night, and I thought, might as well happen straight away, start lying. But no, great experience, mate. I totally loved it, and I'll do it all again tomorrow.
Oh, that's wonderful, mate. And he's such a nice guy. So I can imagine you'd feel terrible doing that, because you wouldn't want to offend people, and especially when you said to her that you were going to stay on her side and then have to vote her out. That's tough, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I did. I felt terrible for a little bit, and then you quickly have that feeling of, oh, well, it could have been me, So that's what gets you. And I got blindsided, like you said. I mean, I've copped it from my mates a lot. I didn't get a lot of airtime in terms of strategy or gamesmanship, unfortunately. But it is what it is. When I got blindsided, Luke really was a great survivor player. My plan was to try to get Abby out that night, and anyway, they all told Abby the plan, and I got blindsided, but I went off to Exile Beach, managed to come back into the game, and I got stitched up beautifully again by Luke and Harry, because they had some old clues to idols that they'd previously found, and they replanted them in the jungle, and silly me found them, and one of them was like, there's an idol in the shelter, and so I kept looking through this shelter for about 12 hours, and it ripped it apart, and then Luke's one said there's an idol underground, which I dug for 24 hours, just all through the night. I got paranoia, just thought there was someone following me, and I just went a bit mad. So, test you, mate, mentally, that's for sure.
Oh, that's wonderful. And how do you go sleeping? Because I can just imagine, like, there's not much to sleep on. It doesn't look very comfortable at all, Blackie.
Yeah, I know. Well, the first night we built our shelter, and they put bamboo on the floor, and I've got a pretty ordinary back with some back issues, and I'm like, I'm not sleeping on that. There's no way. So I went down the beach, and the tide was out, and I was sleeping on the sand, and not great, mind you. And then the tide must have come in throughout the night, and I woke up, the big wave crashing on me, soaking wet. And just, this is horrible. But so welcome to Survivor. But yeah, you throw palm fronds down. We got rid of that bamboo on the floor, and you throw a few palm fronds down, and you kind of just adapt and get used to it. Big, massive crabs though. Like I'm talking like almost basketball big crabs sort of floating through our camp at night, and you're hoping you weren't going to get bitten by them, and there's sliders around. So, but mate, yeah, I loved it, mate. We'll do it all again.
Well, let's hope we see you in the future with the All Stars, mate, because that was really good, that All Stars series that was on recently.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it was a fantastic season.
Legends with Bevo.